our first guest today is John O'Barrick. John O'Barrick, you're from Sparta Capital, and you've got a lot of different things going on with your company. There's numerous arms inside the one. Why don't we start off with that and introducing yourself and what your company does.
Thanks, Brandon. Yeah, Sparta Capital is a company that's very focused on the environment, environmental products and the whole environmental space. And our big piece that we've looked at is going green doesn't mean going to the government for subsidy. Going green means there are so many opportunities available in the market just by doing things proper with technology, modifying technology in many forms, whether it's taking waste materials, waste energy, wherever the things happen to be found, and then profiting from that for our shareholders.
Absolutely, and just like you said, there are so many different areas where we're at a crisis in country after country. What do we do with our waste? What do we do with our waste? And it sounds like a lot of the different things that you're doing is you're finding a solution for that waste, but also finding a business for yourself and shareholders to profit from.
Correct, and for the customer. You know, for the customer itself, we look at their waste stream and say we can get rid of that waste stream and turn it into a consumable product, into something valuable later on. The big issue right now is that all of us are talking about is plastic, and so we're focused very heavily on plastic. Right? It's that mountain in the ocean that is catching a lot of attention. It should be. It should be catching a lot of attention as that plastic's floating to the top and it's floating around out there. You know, we, meaning my generation, has been the generation that caused all that plastic problem. So it's our job to at least set the wheels in motion to fix it. Yeah,
and I love hearing that because it's like almost every day you see another video, whether it be on Facebook or YouTube, and they show beaches just riddled with plastic. You're seeing whales come up with plastic, and that's wrong. You know, we can do this responsibly. You know, plastic, we can find ways of repurposing it. We don't just dump it in the oceans, and that's, like you said, for decades, it's what we've been doing.
Well, to be fair, I don't think everybody really understood the magnitude of the problem. You know, the wonderful thing about plastic, and we're not just plastic, I should get away from that, but the wonderful thing about plastic is it lasts forever. The bad thing about plastic is it lasts forever. And so it's sitting in the ground, we don't know what to do with it. I just did some work the other day, I was digging up an old hot tub and I found straws in there that were 20 years old. They looked, I could have used them, they still look new. So the idea of being able to do that, and plastic is just a carbon chain. It's no different than taking oil out of the ground. We can convert it back to oil and use it, make it usable again. But we do other things. So, you know, fiber, for example, we turn into, which would have been waste, which would have been going to landfill, we turn it into large animal bedding. After it's done with that and it's soiled, then we turn it either into soil augmentation, fertilizer, or turn it into energy, turn it into electricity. That's another area. We've got electronic recycling now that we have in place, and in electronic recycling we try to always repurpose first. Like every one of these things, first thing you want to do is find a use that looks just like it, because that's obviously the greatest profit, to be able to use it in another country, for example. And if you can't do that, then refurbish. You know, maybe change a hard drive in a computer, or make that circuit card usable somewhere else, and we find something that way. And if you can't do that, then we recycle it. We tear it down and we try to find as much value out of that product as we can. There's still valuable minerals in there, so we're urban mining in those two cases, whether that's plastic or in fiber is some of the areas. But then there's this other side where we find really exciting is energy. We're being delivered electrical energy all the time, and we're all excited about electricity, especially your generation, seeing what Elon has done. It's exciting what's going on. We know that we don't necessarily have the power grid yet to be able to support it, but it's coming, and we're working towards it. We're delivering our energy in the form of a wire pipe as opposed to a fuel pipe that's going along. So electricity is a future, a great future for us to be able to use, but even it is being delivered inefficiently. Like a simple thing that we found is that when your voltage and current get out of phase, for example, that's called power factor. People have been paying power factor, especially since variable speed electronic drive control has been put on, variable speed motor controls in manufacturing. Well, when that came about, we caused, and that was actually an industry I was very heavily involved in, we caused the problem. We didn't know we caused a problem, it was just collateral damage. But now we're looking at it and saying, holy cow, if you can turn around and put an appliance on there that can convert that, a smart appliance of course, something that can convert that appliance will bring those two in phase And if you've got a 7.0 power factor, that means you're going to save 30%. The 30% of your electricity bills, and you're hearing what's going on, certainly has been happening in the Wynne government days, and it's still there today. But it's happening not just in our Ontario government, it's happening all over the place, that electricity is expensive because the delivery cost is so expensive.
Very much so, especially in provinces like Ontario. Now, are you focused strictly on Canada? Are you global? Or are you in different areas?
The problem is global. We can go anywhere, but our effort is, what's that line? Think global, but work local. We work locally. There's so much opportunity. You don't need to be stretching you're spreading your wings all around the world. There are people who will go into that. We don't franchise, but we certainly are willing to pass on our knowledge to anybody, because this is something that should be done all over the place.
Absolutely, and it's fantastic to hear. Now, we have a couple slides to put up as well.
Sure.
That showcase just a couple of photos that are showing, the different plastics that you're working with and different areas to be able to go for. We've got them up here now. This is Sparta Capital, and by the way, you are trading on the TSX Venture. SAY, S-A-Y, I believe. Yeah, absolutely. For anybody who's looking into that, is a company that you can get a part of as well.
That's right.
Before those photos here, so we've got a lot of different aspects here. I see we've obviously got the landfills. We were talking about the plastic and all those different areas. But I'm also seeing lots of different areas that are going into. Are you able to explain some of this?
Sure. So I talked already about fiber up here, and I talked about the plastic waste that we would be turning around that we're looking into and how to convert it. The soil augmentation that I talked about, that's farming, that's fertilizer. Yeah. So we're taking materials and turning them into fertilizer. Nice. But this thing we show in the hydrovac trucks, you see these hydrovac trucks, and actually that one and the one at the top are similar. There's another great place that we've the big market that's out there right now is fiber optic cable, because you're seeing it with Bell, with not Rogers yet, TELUS is doing it. And in the next 10 years, we have to bury that cable. It just works so much more efficiently because communications are our highways of today. So we got ourselves tapped into that world, and we're going in and we're helping to install that. But not only do we install the cable, we actually take the Table 1 dirt that we're getting from there, and we convert it. We actually make
so every process
we extract the water, we reuse the water, we extract the I just like saying the term dirt. We take the dirt, we take out the gravel, we make a different type of fill that we work with, and we combine it with some of the other areas that we're working with, where we capture fly ash and use it there. So we turn everything into something, right? And so that's what that line says. Sparta generates revenue by capturing and processing customers' existing waste, transforming it into new forms of consumable products. That's what we do. Yeah. And
it's a fantastic market to be in. There's so much waste. There's so many products just get thrown out.
We are essentially our modern day alchemists. Yeah. The alchemist was looking to turn tin into gold. Yeah. Well, we're turning landfill waste crap into gold. We're able to. So we truly are urban mining, and we've only just begun. To be fair, it's not us necessarily who comes up with all these things. We are a capital company. With not only do we have financial capital, we have human capital. It's the most important thing. Bringing people together, because there are so many smart people out there that we run into, and they're inventors. They're trying to bring their product along. They've been working on it for a decade, and they really don't know what to do next. And where we step in, and they all come in and say, "We just need money." Bunk. That's not true. They need help, and we step in to offer the help for them, and that's how we've built the company.
Yeah, and I feel like there's a lot of stories about that where you get a lot of really bright minds who have great ideas and great inventions, but then they don't really catch on. Nobody finds those people, or they don't know how to seek someone like yourself. They don't know how to seek capital. So then those ideas die, or they don't go as far as they're supposed to go. Yet, we have well over 7 billion people on this earth. It's amazing that we haven't been able to implement, the resources and the different devices, whatever it be, to start getting this plastic away, to start being more, having recycling on the tip of your brain.
But what makes it so exciting right now is the information age, because we are doing that today. And I think that what has made humankind advance the way it has isn't that we're smart. It's that we communicate. It's that we work together. And our ability to work together, just like, you can move a mountain with the proper team. So and look at every sports team that's out there. When that coach helps to get them to gel, amazing things happen. Well, people are doing that, but the information is now flowing. So we're hearing about, some of the things that we're doing there's probably some people in India doing the same thing, and we get to see that these days. They get to see us, you know, and that's what's really advancing everything so quickly. So as much as we caused the problem, we're now having a chance to fix the problem. I'm very excited that we will be able to fix the problem. I just, and our job in my generation is to try to teach your generation what we're doing so that you carry on carry the torch and keep moving forward.
Yeah, and that's why it was really interesting when your company was first brought to my attention, because it's something that absolutely needs to be done. And you know, millennials, the generation I'm a part of, we look at a lot of these different areas like, you know, this is our responsibility. It's everyone's responsibility, but we're going to be in 20, 15 years, we're going to really start seeing, we're already seeing it now. So to be a part of...
We've seen some really exciting changes in the last few years.
Look at the weather, look at all these different aspects, look at it's getting worse and worse and worse. So it's very, very interesting, all these different areas that you've gone into and going to continue to go into, and that as an investor, they can be a part of this in a certain way.
Absolutely, absolutely. And our whole goal is to respect our investors, to bring them along. Our shareholders are the same as us. Now, you know, some of us put effort in, knowledge, wisdom, whatever you want to call it, and some people just put money in. They're a part of this company. Our biggest issue is very few people know about us yet, and I don't know if it's an issue. You know, for the longest time, it's just we've just been quiet. We just continue to build. So a few years ago, we started into this process, and we started building revenues. Right. So first year we did about this is in 2016. I think we did 5 million in that, 4.5 million. Next year we did about 7 million. This year, you know,
so progression.
Right. And everything that we do, any earnings that we have, pound them right back into the company for now. You know, we want this company to be making a lot of change. You know, and the shareholders should benefit from it.
Absolutely. And the last slide on here, it probably says it. Pretty much what we've just been talking about last year is the mission statement here. Yeah. Just going through, and in the very end, do what's right. So I love that.
Do what's right. We actually own that trademark. That's owned. Yeah. That's what the registered trademark. We actually own that. That comes from our electronic recycling division. But you know, the thing that one of the big things that we break in our mission here is that, you know, all of this can be achieved through proper application of technology. That's our job, is to find that. Unfortunately, the vast majority of people think it's that last line. It's the application for government subsidies. Have they done great things? Many have. Yes, they have. But it's not always wait for the government to do everything. That's not it. We can do an awful lot ourselves, because government is just a collection of us, right? It's all of us doing it. Absolutely. But if you say government, then you're saying, well, let's wait for the next guy to do it. Let's wait for that guy to do it. Let's wait for that guy. No, do it yourself. Technology is there, and there are smart people who want to apply it.
Well, I want to thank you for coming on the show. It's been a pleasure. And I can only imagine that we're going to be speaking a lot more in the near future, because I can't wait to see you continue to ramp up and continue to provide shareholder value, but also continue to build your company. It's something that I want to keep a close eye on in the next while.
Appreciate that. Appreciate that, because, you know, and appreciate anybody who is watching to contact us to get involved with what we're doing.
Yeah. And very lastly, is there somewhere they can contact?
SpartaCapital.com.
There we go. Thank you very much.
Thanks very much.
Absolutely.